Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms, and I'm really proud we're adding East Central ISD Schools of Choice to sachartermoms.com and to help us learn about East Central ISD and all the different choice schools. We have Dr. Amanda Holman, and she's the Director of College Career and Military Readiness at East Central ISD. Amanda, thank you for joining us on Charter Moms Chats.
Absolutely. We're so excited to be here today.
Yeah. So for folks who aren't familiar with the San Antonio geography, I'll just explain. So East Central ISD is located kind of east of, like in eastern Bexar County and kind of southeast of downtown, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, great. So can you talk about the mission and vision of East Central ISD Schools of Choice?
Sure, absolutely. So at East Central, we really envision that we are creating a graduate from the time they walk in our doors, whether it be in pre-K 3 or 4, until they leave us as full-grown 18-year-olds, that we will have graduates that are college, career, and military ready. And that's primarily because we want our students to choose paths because they have the flexibility to choose something when they leave us, not because they feel like it's the only thing that they can do. And so in order to do that, we know that it's imperative that our students and families are able to choose a school that is the right fit for them, and that finding that right fit is really critical to their educational journey. So that's just kind of in a nutshell our mission and vision as it pertains to schools of choice in East Central.
Yeah, so that's really helpful. The idea that we're preparing students for the future, and it's by giving them, like, letting them specialize or find those interests that they especially want, and supporting that, and not just saying, okay, this is high school, you all go in this one box. It's like, no, we can have lots of options for kids.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was wondering if you could explain on your role as okay, so I guess for people with younger kids, it might be like, CCMR, what's that? But I know this because I have teenagers, and I talk to the CCMR people all the time. Like, what are we supposed to be working on? But but anyway, I don't know if I've had a CCMR person on Charter Mom Chat before. So if you could explain, like, what your role is and how that connects with schools of choice.
Sure. So my role is one of many different hats, just like most things in public education. But we are a little bit smaller district in regards, when you start looking about the geographic area of San Antonio, other larger districts, East Central ISD is currently around 11,000 students. We are experiencing exponential growth right now with new additions on the southeast side of San Antonio and Bexar County. And so we are really just trying to really accommodate that growth and the needs of our families that are moving into our area. And so my role is one that focuses on career and technical education for our students, and that's primarily at the secondary level. But a lot of our schools of choice are focused around career and technical education. We also focus on, in our department, advanced academics, so our gifted and talented students, advanced placement, dual credit, dual enrollment, college credit courses, honors, anything that's going to give our students an additional opportunity to go into some higher education throughout their educational career. And then we also have a arm of our programs that now is kind of exploring innovative school models, evaluating our schools to look at opportunities for growth and meeting the needs of not only our communities and the families that we serve, but the students that we serve and the business and industry partners that we serve too. So as all of those things come together, we really take a hard look at every school and every campus and the benefits that every single campus brings to our individual communities and families. And then, what opportunities are around that school and that school system to help really draw in our industry partners to help us have this really functional school, these really innovational schools that help us attract students and help us drive our students through some type of interest to keep them engaged in school.
Yeah. Well, I can see, like, the thread that runs through it is innovation, right? And being adaptable and, like, serving the students' needs, right? So whether it's
Absolutely.
like the advanced academics, the GT, if it's career technical education, and then you talked about, like, being responsive to what employers in San Antonio and Bear County are looking for, and that's really important too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So okay. So well, thanks. That kind of is a good segue because like explaining, your role, all these different things. But what we're most wanting to talk about today is the schools of choice, because those are open enrollment, right? So families from outside the East Central ISD boundaries can come into the district because there are such interesting school models, that appeal to a wider range of families. So I was wondering if you could talk more about the specific academic programs that are available at some of the schools of choice. And meanwhile, I'll be trying to like get the banners up so people can catch what these names are.
Sure, I would love it to talk about them because we're very proud of them. So we have currently 6 different schools of choice here in East Central. We have 4 elementary choice schools, 2 of which are dual language immersion academies. And so the campuses focus on serving pre-K through 5th grade students in a dual language immersion format. And our students, we allow those students to enter in kinder, so they can enter pre-K or kinder, unless they're coming to us from another dual language program or as an emergent bilingual. Because the program is so immersive that we really want our students to start early so that they're not behind as they go all the way through, trying to get into a program where the primary language is different than your home language. In 3rd or 4th grade, it could be a little bit difficult. So we do offer, if students go through that entire program, we have an entire trajectory for students so they can get some high school credit for their years of participation in our dual language academies if they meet certain requirements. And so we're really proud of those 2 dual language immersion academies. We also have a leadership academy, and that is at Salado Elementary School. And the leadership academy is focused on project-based learning experiences for our students. So that takes our students who really enjoy applying what they've learned to something that is important to them in the real world, or a problem that they've seen in the real world that they really want to solve. And it integrates all of that content together through the lens of that one project that they're working through. And so that's been a really great opportunity. We started that about 5-6 years ago now. This is the first year we've expanded to 6th grade. So it is a kinder through 6th grade campus now. And we are really excited to see, those students grow and continue on through their leadership pathways. So, and then one of our newest, we opened 2 new schools this year for schools of choice. And our newest one is the STEM Academy at Pecan Valley Elementary. And that is connecting all of our students there to experiences in science, technology, engineering, and math. And so our students there get an opportunity to explore a STEM specials. So they rotate through specials throughout the day. We've implemented a Project Lead the Way for those students so that they're getting some STEM engagement through their core content areas that they have. And we are really excited because that is just really increased the engagement of the students at the campus. And they are loving having those hands-on opportunities for them to see what the future holds for STEM, because that is huge here in San Antonio. So, and then we have 2 secondary options that service our students. The first one is a career-themed high school, and it's not unfamiliar to San Antonio. We are part of the CAS network of schools, and so we have CAS Lead High School. We opened up to 8th grade students as well. So this campus is now serving 8th through 12th grade students. And the focus there is on a few different areas that are super industry driven here in San Antonio. So the first one is hospitality and tourism. San Antonio is a huge, huge, huge area for hospitality and tourism. And so one of our programs of study we offer there is hospitality and tourism leadership. The other one is retail leadership. So one of our main partners in this work has been H-E-B. And we know that they are a huge driver in our economy here in the San Antonio area. And we see retail leadership as a huge need in the San Antonio area in filling those positions. And then we have e-commerce and user experience. So that focuses on everything that we do on our cell phones, from ordering pizza to our HEB curbside pickup to Amazon, and how our customers interact and interface with those platforms. And so we have one of the only high school programs in e-commerce here in the state of Texas that we're really proud of. And then we've also recently added an agribusiness program of study for our students. Our district has a very rich history in agriculture, and we wanted to be able to carry that on. And so we have an agribusiness program as well for our students at Cass Lead. So when they leave us at Cass, they're going to have some industry-based certifications. We have college partners. So Texas A&M University San Antonio is our dual credit partner here at Cass Lead. But probably most importantly, the experience that our students get with the really rich industry experiences with the partners that we've created is like no other. So we partner with organizations such as HEB, Holt Cat, Education Service Center 20, San Antonio Hotel and Lodging Association. And, we just really believe that if we can lift up our students' voice and we can give them the things that they need to be able to advocate, be highly engaged, take ownership in their learning, that they are going to be incredible assets to our community in the future. So we are really excited about that. This is our first class of seniors that'll graduate this year. So we are very excited about that. So, and then our most recently opened school is another one that is huge in the San Antonio area's healthcare and the need for healthcare professionals. And so we have recently opened up a brand new school model to East Central called a Pathways of Technology in Early College High School, or a PTech. And it is a health care focused school for future leaders in the healthcare industry. The program started this year. We accepted 100 freshmen, and we'll accept 100 freshmen again going in next school year. And those students will gain 60 hours of tuition-free college credit at, again, the Texas A&M University San Antonio. And we offer pathways in medical assisting, nursing, pharmacy, radiology, dental. We've added an imaging pathway as well. And so they not only are challenged through that university coursework, which 60 hours is a lot when you're a high school student going through, but they also get the robust framework of all of those courses that lead to the industry-based certification that'll be stackable for them. So if a student earns through our nursing program and a nursing aid certificate, they'll be able to walk straight into industry, start working with that as they choose to potentially continue through their post-secondary education, but they've got both in their hand ready to walk out the door from us. And again, they are very, very active in the work-based learning experiences, and our partners that we've created with that program are just tremendous. We've got San Antonio Orthopedic Group, Walgreens, Touchstone Communities, HEB, Christian Santa Rosa. So just goes on and on, but that is a huge program for our students that they have been so excited about us starting. And we are just so excited to see how the students progress through that program.
Yeah, I think that focusing on those secondary programs, right, like Cass Lead and PTech, like those partnerships, those industry partnerships are really important. And I have not visited Cass Lead in the past, but I have been to other Cass schools like Cass Med and Cass Tech. And at Cass Tech, I was able to see interactions between mentors who are like adults who work in these industries, and then they sit down with some fast food lunch and and like sit down with the kids and they really talk to them about like, hey, what is life like in this career? And like it's so powerful to have adults willing to volunteer their time and answer those questions, and then kids start to see themselves working in those jobs in the future.
It's really it is mind-blowing, and it's so life-changing for the students. It's a really neat opportunity.
Yeah. I think these students, I guess the ones in high school now, like they would have experienced a middle school in the pandemic, and that can be alienating and make them feel disconnected and make them like miss out on real life experiences that would help them imagine like what they might want to be in the future. And so I think programs like CAS Lead or the P-Tech Health Sciences, are especially important for getting those kids re-engaged with learning, so that they're not just asking, well, what is this for? Why am I in high school? It's
Absolutely.
like they have an answer.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. And then again, with the high schools, so the students who are in like a P-Tech, an early college high school program, they're earning college credit, but they're on campus at East Central High School. And that means that they're still participating in student life, right? So they can do extracurriculars, they can do sports. Can you explain more about that? Because I think parents sometimes worry about that trade-off of like, if we want these specialized programs, we want the strong academics, what are we giving up? And the answer is not necessarily.
That is so true. So we have a really unique situation here at East Central, where CAS Lead High School is actually located directly across the street from our campus. And so we have worked so hard the last several years to build a super strong partnership between East Central High School, which is our comprehensive high school for the district, and CAS Lead High School, so that students have opportunities to still participate and engage in all the student activities. So the students are able to get the smaller campus experience of the instruction, the project-based learning, the mentorship, that type of model, work-based learning experiences of a CAS network school, but they still get the comprehensive high school experience, if you will, of participating in sports or band or athletics, cheerleading. We have a lot of cheerleaders here. We have a lot of football players, our ROTC students. We have huge numbers of students who participate in ROTC through East Central High School. And so it really allows them the opportunity to have that traditional high school experience and get the non-traditional high school experience of the things that we offer through a school of choice. As far as our P-Tech program goes, that program also, it's uniquely located on our CAS Lead building. It is, though, a school within a school model within East Central High School. And so our students will come to this building to participate in their dual credit courses and in their health science courses, but then they take their core content areas with East Central High School staff. And so they get, again, the best of both worlds, in that they're participating in that smaller, unique experience of the dual credit with the support of facilitators here on campus to help them, provide them with interventions if necessary, and so on. But then also that big campus experience where they're going and they're getting to, Friday night lights and, all of the fun things that are happening. So the student life is absolutely something that we're really proud of, that we've created here at East Central. It's a huge community who is always just rooting for each other. And it's a big family, and everybody is looking out for everybody and just making sure that our students are really getting what they need to be successful, and not just something that, is kind of out of a cookie cutter box, but definitely what the kiddos need. So.
Yeah. Those are questions that come up in our. This is my chance to plug our Facebook group, the San Antonio Charter Moms group on Facebook. We're closing in on 12,000 members,
Wow.
and it's a question that comes up. So like there are charter schools that offer sports. Like that's kind of a myth. It's like, oh, there's no sports. Well, there are, but it's not. It may not be. It might be six-man football, or it might be flag football. Whereas East Central has the real deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are there aspects about student life that you can share about for the younger kids? Like I noticed there was a Dia de los Muertos, like some ofrendas that the students in the dual language programs were building.
Yeah, so our students our dual language students go and participate in some of the ofrendas each year down in Market Square, and they get to take their experiences down there, and they've blown me away every year with what they create. It's really cool to see them go and create those each year. I've got, we've see other things that come out all the time that just, we can't believe that, our students in all grade levels are doing the amazing things that they're doing. But, one of the things that's always stuck with me is one of the first projects that our Salado Leadership Academy did was around energy and energy conservation. And the students themselves said, we really wonder how much the school pays for the electricity here at our campus. And so they went and they talked with our CFO, they talked with CPS Energy, and they got all of this data. And then they calculated out how much energy was used by every TV in the building, every microwave and refrigerator, every light individually. And then they got the idea to go have this huge study where they walked around the campus during different times of day to see how many staff were in their room and the light was off or on. And so after, a couple of months of this project, they presented to our school board and were able to devise a energy savings plan to save the campus about $10,000 each year. And so it was such a neat experience to see them talking about this. And these are like fifth graders and just going on about everything. And so we love to have, opportunities like that where the students are showcasing and solving problems because they feel like they are getting to make a huge difference. And I think that's something that's a lot of times we tend to try to take away from younger students is that ability for them to make choices and decisions and solve the problems that they've got young minds and they're so intelligent. So it's neat to see those.
No, that's a great story because it demonstrates what project-based learning is about. And because I think, I remember what it was like when my kids were really young and I was researching schools, and it felt like there was a lot of terminology that I didn't really understand, and I couldn't visualize like what it meant. By now, I've been able to visit and I've been able to see kids doing project-based learning. But that's a great example of it because it demonstrates like we really should not underestimate, like, young kids can ask really good questions. And sometimes they see things in a new light, things that adults it's like, oh, we're used to that. Like, yeah, that TV's on, whatever. And they're asking why? Why is it on?
Absolutely. So.
Yeah, and it makes it relevant because like they're concerned about climate change, and so then they want to do something about it. And how great for like the board at East Central to listen, and the leadership to respond and give them the data and treat them with that respect.
Mm-hmm.
That they should be partners in this as well.
It's a great experience, and we're always looking out for the best thing for the students. So it was neat. So we've I know I mentioned that we've got our first class of seniors here at CAS Lead, and so those students have really helped us develop the culture of the campus throughout the last 4 years. And we have seen so many instances where they identify something on their campus and they on their own create full proposals and bring it to our principals, and they'll say, look, this is the problem we saw. This is, we surveyed each other and we talked to each other, and this is what we want to propose. So can you make this happen for us? And it's so easy to go advocate for students in that situation when they know that their voice really does matter. They're creating right now their entire senior programming. And so they shared with us the other day this whole year-long worth of events that they're planning. And the craziest thing about it is none of it was based around them. It was all about what they could do for their community. And so it was a really neat experience to know that, all of that they've been working on the last 4 years has really paid off for them. So.
Yeah, wow, of how they want to show leadership and give back. That is leadership. Hopefully what they're learning from their mentors is rubbing off on them, because a good leadership thinks about the team and puts that first. So yeah. And speaking of student voice, I want to ask about the what's behind your head, like in the room. So you're on the CAS Lead campus right now, and the students got to pick what heroes and what quotes to recognize.
Absolutely. So part of the development of CAS Lead High School was really surveying our students for what they thought. We did a lot of focus groups with them around, what does your campus feel like? If you developed it, what would it feel like? And we wanted to have these fabulous quotes with famous people. I'm going to lift up my camera so don't get sick, but with some famous people. And so there's Mr. Walt Disney, and a quote from him that our students chose. It said, do what you did so well that they want to see it again and bring their friends. And so we have those types of big signs all over the campus with the different people who are very influential in San Antonio and to our students. I was telling you a little bit earlier, we have one from Selena in one of our hallways. And so we really tried to tie in the San Antonio aspect of, this being the culture of our students and our families around this area. And the fact that we wanted our students to look at these things and find value in them. And So we let them pick all of those quotes, and they have loved them. They, sometimes in schools things get a little torn up, but they don't touch the signs. They absolutely don't. So it's really nice.
Yeah. Well, that's a sign of respect that they care about what they pick. They want to express it. They want to respect it. So, yeah, that's great. Okay. Well, I think we've covered like all about the academics and the culture and like those things I want to cover, but I want to make sure that folks get the like logistical information about like how to apply to the schools of choice in East Central ISD. So, what advice do you have for families who are really curious about these learning models and want to find out more?
Yeah, I am excited to tell everybody. So we our district website, we launched on October 18th, our school of choice application. It's one application this year, which is a little bit of a change for some of our families who've been with us. So we have one application. If you go to our district website there at ECISD.net, on the front banner, our Marcom department is amazing, and they've got the application right there. If you click on that banner, it'll take you to our school of choice page, where we have each of our schools of choice listed with a description of each one, links directly to the campus so you can see what's going on at the campus. And then there's also a link to apply using our application. And we are ready to take applications and start rolling. We should be starting to send out acceptance to families who have applied early, beginning November 1st. And then our priority application deadline is January 15th of 2024. So we, if you have any questions though, if there's anything that is not on the site that anybody needs to get more information about, our contact information is on that site to my office directly, as well as each campus independently is able to answer questions around their school model and their process for the process for applications and acceptance as well. So one other thing about East Central ISD is we always have a talk to us button on our website. So another great way to get in touch with us if you're having any kind of difficulty navigating the pages is just click that talk to us button, put in your questions and your information. It'll get sent to us and we'll be sure to answer that question pretty quickly for you.
Yeah, that's great. Make it as easy as possible. So I want to clarify. So for folks who are used to me talking about the open enrollment charter schools, they usually have an open enrollment period and then they close that and then they run a lottery, make offers, and then waitlist people. So, but as you explained to me before, East Central ISD has not had to run waiting lists for the schools of choice yet. And so then it's more of like a rolling process. And so, but it is like best for families to get their applications in before January 15th, because like you said, the principals are already making offers for the people who applied, starting October 18th.
Yes.
And so it's the best. That's why we try so hard to get families thinking about school choice, in the fall so that they have the most choices available to them. And because by the spring, some of the schools will be filling up and there might not be as many seats available. So.
Absolutely. And we do try to focus a lot of our efforts in the spring semester on staffing to make sure we're appropriately staffed. So the earlier that we can get applications and we can get our, our students for the upcoming year kind of solidified, we can start making some of the best choices for our students with staffing. So.
Yeah. And how exciting that there's a graduating class from Castelli. Yeah.
Yes, we'll have 42 seniors this year. So.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, and like you said, these are fields that, like you meant, the hospitality, tourism, retail, e-commerce, user experience. Those are things that are very relevant to San Antonio. So, yeah. Well, how exciting for them. Well, I'm really proud that we have, an East Central ISD guide. Like you guys are included in our overall schools guide as for schools of choice, and we look forward to having you at events in the future. And so I'm just really grateful for this partnership. And I had heard about Castelli. I had no idea that there were this many like unique models in East Central ISD. And I think you're picking things that families are going to be really excited about, like the dual language and STEM and project-based learning and P-Tech. These are great things for kids.
Well, thank you. We're excited and we are very happy to be offering these to our community in the San Antonio area. So, and thank you very much for having me and letting me talk about all the amazing things that are happening at East Central.
Yeah, it's been great. Okay. All right. Well, take care, Dr. Holman.
All right. Thanks. You too.
Okay. Bye.